and welcome to this very special virtual event. Tonight we're going to be showing for the very first time the video for Medway's bid to become the 2025 UK City of Culture. From Chatham to Gillingham, Strood to Who and everything in between, we have a panel of Medway's finest who are looking to bring this prestigious title to our corner here in Kent. You can also get involved in the programme this evening, and if you have any questions for our lovely panellists or you just want to give a shout out to Medway and support the bid, you can comment down below wherever you are watching online. But before we meet our panellists, here is a quick look at what Medway has to offer.
Medway may not categorically be a city, but I'm here to show you that we certainly think and behave like we are one. Located in the heart of the Garden of England, Medway has castles, military landmarks, a glorious cathedral, family attractions, a continental-style cultural scene, and breathtaking natural landscapes. You may be surprised just how much there is to see and do. Spread across Chatham, Gillingham, Rochester, Rainham, Strood, peninsulas and villages, Medway is inspired by creativity and diversity and has a unique population. From fashion to restaurants to art galleries, which all unite the artistic community in the towns. Businesses from small scale to major multinationals can be found in the area, boosting the economy and allowing the region to have a thriving financial scene. The area is rich in heritage and history dating all the way back to the Roman invasion of Britain. The River Medway itself played a key role in the history and development of communities across the area, and has been a site of historical significance during several wartime moments. For almost 4 centuries, the Royal Dockyard at Chatham has been making naval ships. With a rich naval history, the Royal Navy first started to use the River Medway in 1547. Around the corner from the historic dockyard, you can find the universities at Medway, a unique partnership which has brought together both the University of Kent and the University of Greenwich on a shared campus at Chatham Maritime. The campus reinvents a former naval base as a 21st century study space. Winning the title of UK City of Culture 2025 would bring the title to this distinctive end of the country for the first time, and would allow for the vast landscapes and stunning scenery of Medway to be enjoyed by many.
So that was a quick tour of Medway there, and now it's my pleasure to welcome our first panel this evening to tell us more about the Medway City of Culture bid and also the special video that we are going to be premiering in 20 minutes time. We've got Jatin Patel, who is co-chair of the Medway 2025 Trustees, Maddie Springett, who is co-chair of the Medway 2025 Youth Engagement Working Group, and also Dee Campbell, who is the owner of the Jerk Cafe, who also features in the video alongside Maddie. Thank you all for joining us this evening. And to all of you watching on social media, we'd love for you to get involved, so don't forget to send in your comments in the comment section on the sidebar of the screen. And before we get started, I just wanted a quick introduction from our panel, and I guess we'll start with you, Jatin.
My name is Jatin Patel. I'm a fashion designer and a creative entrepreneur with living and working both in Rochester.
And how about you, Dee? Elevate a picture of yourself.
Hello, I'm Dee. I'm the owner of the Jerk Cafe, which is based in the Strood High Street.
And for you, Maddie?
Hi, I'm Maddie. I am a student engagement officer at Kent College and also the co-chair of the Youth Engagement Working Group for Medway 2025.
Now, Jatin, I want to know, how far back does your connection to Medway go, and why do you believe that Medway has what it takes to be the UK City of Culture 2025?
Right, very interesting questions. So my connection to Medway goes back at least 20 years. Well, I think, in fact, it's probably about 23 years ago I arrived from the East Midlands to Rochester to pursue a career in fashion, and I did a 3-year degree at what was known then as KIAD, and now UCA in Rochester. So 23 years later, I met my partner and we both have our businesses and we live and work in Medway, and Medway is home for us. Part two of your question of why do you think Medway could win? Well, Medway is unique. We have our own identity, and I think it's a massive game-changing opportunity for us to all come together and attempt to win this bid.
Now, Maddie, as you said, you are co-chair of the Medway 2025 Youth Engagement Working Group, and you work at Kent College as well. Why is the bid so important for local young people, and can they have a say in the bid?
Yep, so young people are really central to our bid. So young people are really at the heart of everything that we're doing. And we want to put young people at the heart of that cultural life in Medway, both as audiences of the bid and as makers as well. So all of the plans for 2025 are about giving opportunities to young people. So anything from skills and aspirations to opportunities and employability for local young people will all be really key outcomes for Medway 2025. This can be everything from supporting young people to present their own work, to give them mentoring opportunities, supporting their steps into creative and cultural and tourism industries, and so many more exciting ideas. So young people can definitely have their say in the bid as well. Young people are really shaping our ideas for 2025, and we're going to be putting that in front of the City of Culture judges as well. So we are so keen for young people to be involved at all stages of the bid. We have a youth creative planning group, and these are kind of the engine house of creative ideas for the bid. We'd love to hear from even more young people. There is so many opportunities for young people to get involved, and all the details of that are on the website. And sometimes young people can seem to have negative stereotypes about them, and the bid and Medway's 2025 City of Culture programme will really show that young people do care about their community and they want to have a say in what matters to them, and that they can really inspire generations to come and they can put themselves forward. We're also rolling out a programme for all of Medway schools that will give all children and young people an opportunity to share their ideas as part of the bid as well. So it's so many opportunities for young people to get involved.
And similarly, as I asked Jason, why do you think Medway should be the City of Culture? Why do you think we have what it takes? For you, Maddie, just jumping off what you just said.
So we have so many opportunities, and I think it just, as Jason was saying, it really brings it down to the Southeast to show that we are really capable of what we've got going for us. It's a nationwide opportunity, and we've got such a good creative scene. So it's a really high profile competition. It will bring back lifelong memories, and because young people are so at the heart of it, it really shows our cultural life and involve our whole community, not just young people. And it won't end in 2025 either. So it will leave a massive legacy for opportunities for local young people for years and years to come as well. So it's such a good opportunity.
We are going to be getting into the video tonight, and it was really exciting to see you, Maddie, and you as well, Dee, your little cameo in the video. I want to ask, why do you think this is going to be massive for Medway? What is this going to mean for Medway if we are named the City of Culture?
Well, Medway is a multicultural town, and I think it's important that we represent the different ethnicities and cultures in Medway. Young people have so much to give, but it's about pulling out their skills and talents, giving those opportunities, aspirations and confidence, especially in cooking and catering, and that's the area that I'm working in at present. I'm from Afro-Caribbean background. However, I can cook all different types of foods. Essentially, having the young people get involved in food that will help them with the healthy eating, and making sure that the young people are employed in business, and that they are trained and educated in the basics of food and hygiene. This bid will help them and support, I believe, young people making sense of the world and its cultures. Also, it will inspire them and promote positive residence in Medway.
And you spoke about your cafe and your food. I think when people think of creativity, they immediately think of, paintings, music, film, that kind of thing. But what does it mean that the bid is also bringing awareness to different types of creativity, like food and cuisine and cooking?
As I mentioned before, I'm from Afro-Caribbean culture, and Medway is, multicultural. And the foods will help them to be able to taste different cultures and different ethnicities in the borough of Medway.
And we are going to get into the video very, very soon. But I want to know, for people that are going to watch it, Dee and Maddie, who are in the video, what do you expect them to gain from the video?
I hope they get a real connection with people, and essentially young people that have a voice in society. They have talents, they have skills, and they have gifts. I genuinely feel that this will be a great opportunity for the local businesses and boost the businesses as a whole in the Medway area.
And for you, Maddie, what do you hope people take away from the video? And I want to know, what was it like, both of you actually? I want to hear your responses. What was it like being part of the video? Something so special.
So the first part, what am I hoping people think or feel about it? I hope they're going to feel like a real sense of excitement and community spirit. When I saw the video for the first time, I was literally amazed, and that didn't even speak for being part of it as well. I think it just really showed that almost the first game-changing moment for Medway that would leave that legacy for Medway 2025. And for being part of it, the best part must have been seeing the different parts. So I filmed a lot of the stuff at the historic dockyard, and I've been to the dockyard before, but I almost got backstage access to some really cool areas, to places that I'd never really seen before, and that was just so incredible. And on the day that we was doing filming, I had the chance to meet a gentleman called John, who's on one of the panels later. He used to work at the dockyard years ago, and he was so knowledgeable. We had a great time together, not only with the filming, but also just chatting. It was so nice to have the opportunity to speak to him, and I left feeling really refreshed. It was so nice. It was such a great experience being able to film down there. I really loved it.
What about you, Dee? What was it like filming and being part of this really special video? I absolutely loved the video myself.
I thoroughly enjoyed the day of creation, seeing the crew, the lights, the cameras, action, the positioning, going through script, the whole camaraderie, the community feel of the video. Throughout the day, we cooked some food live, and I was so happy and impressed to see that when the food was finished and we shared the food out to the camera crew, every one of them said, "This food is delicious. I must come back." And that really made my day.
Now, Jatin, I still know you're there, so I want to ask you, could you introduce the video for us? Almost give the people some hype. What can they expect?
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so this is our trailer video, and this is us celebrating who we are and where we are and why we want to win. And as you said, it's got 2 of our panel members in there tonight, along with our local residents, business people, and organisations. And, it really is a call to action for the people of Medway to come, get involved, and let us create our new culture together. So please watch.
Well, we've got a couple more questions before we get into it. Just thought I'd give them a bit of a tease there. But I wanted to ask, why did you think a video was the appropriate medium to portray Medway? Do you think it could have been achieved in other ways, or you all wanted a video to illustrate what Medway has to offer? Why in particular a video?
Who is that?
Jatin, you take that.
I'll take that, no problem. I think the medium of video is so apt at the moment. And if the last year has taught us, how to get your message out and how to connect with people is really important. And a video can allow to have live interactions or for people to be watched afterwards. And it's really visual. and verbal. And I think it's an extremely powerful tool.
And Dee, I know
And
you were going to say something. I mean, you could all answer. Why do you think that video really encapsulated what Medway has to offer?
It shows strongly how Medway has such a sense of community. There's so much to offer in this area, and seeing it visually, I feel it impacts the whole, create the bid, and driving it forward, that Medway is a place to be.
And Maddie, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's just the vibrancy of it. The vibrancy of the video is just incredible. And this has been a thing that's a really important thing for the community, and a really significant number of people across Medway have already started to be involved in conversations about Medway 2025. And the video just really pulls all that together. It pulls across all the different types of culture and creativeness that Medway has. It showcases the different areas, different types of people, from history and for old times right up to new technological times. It really showcases it in such a brilliant way. I'm just really excited for everyone to see it now.
I 100% agree, and I loved all of your cameos. And I'm going to give a little shameless confession. I recently just moved to Medway, and so I'm yet to explore the town. Obviously, we've been in lockdown, not been able to go out much, but after seeing the video, I was like, wow, like I can't wait to explore the town and to see Medway for what it is. But for somebody like me who isn't aware of the culture, and some people might say, oh, Medway has no culture, I want to know, three of you, what word would you say to somebody that would say, oh, Medway doesn't have any culture? How can we convert them? Starting with you, Jatin, then we'll go to Maddie and then Dee.
I'd say firstly, open your eyes, look around you. It's culture. What is culture? Culture is about the way we do things, the way we live, the way we experience things, and the way we build connections. So I think it comes down to us as individuals to build our own culture and a community culture, and that could be anything. And to revert back slightly to your question about the video and the innovation, that's another strength in Medway, to show that we've got our rich heritage, we've got the history, but we've also got some real powerful innovation sector. That's where the future comes. And going back to what Maddie was saying about the legacy of building for the youth. So it's this full circle that we've got in such a powerful bid of the people and the places and the things all across Medway.
Maddie, how can we encourage the people that Medway indeed has some culture, or has the culture?
I mean, if I could say one word, it'd probably be alternative. But Medway can, and it does, it expresses creativity in so many different ways. And some of this might seem unconventional or alternative, but because it's so diverse and we have so many different cultures here, we want our culture to tell so many different stories, and the video does a really good way of explaining that. And it also shows what we have to offer as individuals in the community as well. So that could be things from tech to film, music, gaming, craft, dance, and so much more. Our cultural sector is so innovative, exciting, and it's grown so quickly. And the history and heritage of Medway really does play a huge part in making us who we are today as Medway. And bidding to host the UK City of Culture in 2025 allows us to really write that next chapter of the story as well, which is just so incredible.
I think you said two main points which were just so interesting to hear: individuals and community, and that's exactly what culture is. So to anyone that says Medway has no culture, get to know, open your eyes. But I want to know also, Dee, how will you convert anybody that still has this idea or might have the conception, that knowledge that, oh, Medway doesn't have any culture? What would you say to them as well?
We just welcome everybody with open arms. I feel what Medway has been to me. I've been living in the area for over 20 years, and I have been welcomed from the day one when I set foot in Medway. It's a welcoming area. Everybody's friendly. There may be places where there is a bit rough over the edges, but however, it's a developing place. It's inspiring for my children. All my children have grown up in Medway and achieved and done well. It's a beautiful place. to be. And I believe that this Medway 2025 bid should come to us.
That was a beautiful way to just wrap and conclude that whole, conversion. So hopefully people are now aware that Medway is a place of culture. And for those maybe just tuning in, Jatin, I just wanted to go back to this point, who will the bid benefit? So if you could summarise but elaborate on how the bid will benefit the people, individuals, like if we do get this bid, what does that practically look like in an individual's lives here in Medway?
Okay, great. So I think it's very important, first of all, to very quickly identify what the bid itself is. So the bid is it's a high-profile national competition where a place in the country is selected as City of Culture. So apart from winning just a title or an accolade, it's much, much more and bigger than that. And it really is about bringing change and improving people's lives through creativity and culture. So how that works is bringing people together, ideas, community, everything together to make our lives better. So if you just imagine that we've had over a year to build this bid process, and that's got hundreds of people across Medway coming together from all the different businesses, arts organisations, council, all coming together. So imagine that we weren't bidding, we would never have been having that conversation, or we would never have had this conversation. So although we're bidding to win, the winning isn't the most important part. The most important part is the journey, and everybody coming together to make those connections to help improve our lives. Winning, of course, will massively benefit not just Medway, but also Kent as a region, and also the southeast through tourism, infrastructure, businesses coming in to move in, new things happening. But to all of us, the aim of it is that it will benefit our life in one way or another.
And to the local people watching, I want to hear from each of you, why is now the time for everybody watching to be backing the bid? And if so, how can they back the bid? Starting with you, Jatin.
Get involved, get in touch with our hashtag on the website, and come and join us. Part of this whole process, it's not a top-down exercise. It's about us wanting to learn from everybody. So if anybody out there, whatever age you are, have got any ideas, any suggestions to what we can do, this is what we're here for. We're here to guide and to steer and to listen to everybody. Ultimately, this is a community bid for the community, by the community.
That was perfectly said. Dee and Maddie, why should people back the bid?
So this last year, there's already been a lot of community and business consultation to really help lay down the groundwork for creating the ambition for City of Culture themes and the programmes. And now we're really looking to gain that support from across Medway, Kent and the South East as well. So whoever you are, no matter what age you are, don't feel like there's no reason for you not to get involved. Check out the social media channels. This is your call to action to make sure that you come and get involved, step up and be part of that community that we should all be so proud of being part of. So yeah, absolutely 100%. There is no reason to not get involved in the bid.
100%. And Dee, before we get into the video, how can people back the bid?
They can hashtag, as Jinty said, the organisation. But I would say that this is definitely for the community. It's definitely for the young people, because they are the next generation, and they have so much innovative skills and ideas and aspirations. So I, employ them to just come forward, get involved with the area, get involved with the community, and build your inner resilience, build your confidence. It also instills positive self-image, raises aspirations, increases motivation, and also will improve your attainment. So just get involved.
Well, Dee, Jatin and Maddie, it's been such a pleasure to meet you. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, here is the premiere of Medway's 2025 UK City of Culture video.
Causeways, alleyways,
gangway,
passageways. archways,
waterways,
stairways,
Takeaways.
from vast skies and rows of terraces to the peninsula, towns and villages. For musicians, artists, sculptors, writers, photographers, dancers, printmakers, fashion designers, Medway has always inspired. The river shaped our land, our direction. We've been changed and molded by our words, ideas and inventions.
Making things here is what we do. Old ways, new ways. From submarines to virtual railways. From the dockyard of old to the dockyard new. Our young people have reimagined what is possible. And reinvention has always been at the heart of what we do.
The ships built here sailed all over the globe.
And people from across the world call this place home. This is a place that brings people together to share, to learn and celebrate. Our heritage, our ambitions, our cultures make up the ingredients of this place.
Different flavours, techniques and the craft of our food. One thing for sure, we dream big here.
We've inspired many stories and have many stories to tell. But we're more than the stories our history books sell. And yeah, we got history, but this is about us, right now. Our potential, our future, all of us.
There's something about this place.
It isn't just one way.
We celebrate always.
We want to show everyone.
This is Medway.
This is Medway.
This is Medway.
Sorry about the technical difficulties here, but that was an amazing video to watch, and I actually have one of our next panellists, Malachi. It's very nice to meet you. My earpiece just fell out. I'm going to put it back in my ear. Malachi, it's very nice to meet you, and we're going to kick things off. You were actually one of the main protagonists for the video. I want to know, what was it like to be part of something so special?
It was amazing. But
Malachi, you seem to be breaking up a bit.
okay, yeah, no, it was amazing.
Oh, I may have lost you. I cannot hear you at all. Sorry, people. Live television.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. It was something
There you are.
like that. My people, like, whoa. Part of it showed that thing that
sorry to interrupt, Malachi, but I think we're going to have to go and sort out the technical issues, but we're going to see what the people of Medway have to offer, and hopefully we'll sort out all the technical difficulties in a bit.
Yeah, that's right.
There's a lot of old historical buildings, there's lots of places to visit. Obviously Charles Dickens being our main one. You just need to walk along Rochester High Street to see how beautiful it is.
It's a great place to come to visit. There's lots of things to do and to find out about. So for me, Medway would be an ideal choice.
You don't even have to travel the world. Like, you just come to Medway and meet basically someone from every culture.
Well, Rochester's beautiful, and the cathedral does a lot of stuff for the art installations, like they did the moon and they did the knife angel and stuff, so that's really nice.
We're overlooked, but we're passionate. The artwork that comes out of here is real and believable and beautiful.
I think that brings in a lot of culture by itself, just simply the university students that come to this large campus, and there's probably hundreds of them.
I don't think you could do Medway in one day, so it takes a few days to take in all the sites, but yeah, there's plenty of good festivals, plenty of good history behind the place.
I'm an international student myself, so when I shifted here, I saw people were quite welcoming.
It is a very exciting place to come to and to explore, and that's the reason I think that we deserve to be the city of culture.
It's kept me occupied with my television, my books, my friends and I go, one friend and I go walking every afternoon.
Because there's so many things here which are local, you can actually walk around and learn so many things. So yeah, great.
I experienced my first complete British Christmas this year.
Just my first day here, and I've met like people from all sorts of backgrounds, half Italian, half Palestinian, people from Turkey, people from China, and it's just a whole variety of people, and you get to learn a lot.
It absolutely keeps me going. It helps my mental health, my physical health. Yeah, it's vital.
I mean, when the first lockdown hit, we did a lot of walking.
Yeah.
And because there was no cars on the roads, we could actually cycle, so we cycled down to Rochester, which was really nice because we can't do that now.
I did a bit of research on the Tatton dockyards, and that's definitely a place that I want to revisit because my dad used to work there when he was young. Yeah, so just a lot of fact finding really, and seeing if there's other little avenues that I haven't looked at in my own hometown.
Charles Dickens comes to mind because he was telling stories about life at that time and showing you the poverty that people were living in.
Park that's always very windy. It's called Great Dines Heritage Park, and me and my friends like to go there in a huge group and play rounders, and it's just my favorite time here.
The first Englishman who arrived in Japan was William Adams, who was born in Gillingham, and in Tokyo each year they have a massive festival for him.
We used to run urban fox events, and we had loads and loads of amazing musicians come and play for us, and one of those is Kid Harpoon, who's Tom Hull, who's now has written Harry Styles' album.
When I went to a music night, and it was quite fun and lively and energetic with a lot of different people.
I think my favourite story about Medway is that as soon as you tell someone from around the country where you're from, and you say Medway, they're like, where is that? And I'll be like, you know, Rochester, where? And they'll immediately say Charles Dickens.
On the way from Canterbury to London, we're the halfway point, and it makes us a bit older than London in that sense, doesn't it? So I think we should be very proud of that.
Well, apologies for all of those technical difficulties, but it was really nice to see what the people of Medway had to offer. And I'm now pleased to say that we have a new panel up. We have the Medway 2025 Bid Director, Imogen Robertson, Malachi Wilson from Cage Nation, who we previously met for a bit, and John DeRose from the Chatham Dockyard Historical Society. So thank you guys so much for coming on. Sorry for all the difficulties. I wanted to see if you guys could introduce yourselves, give yourselves a brief summary about who you are and how you're involved in the bid, starting with you, Malachi.
Hi, yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. So, actually, found out about the bid months ago, through my occasionally, it's actually quite, inspiring. So,
Malachi, I'm still having trouble with your connection. If we can move on to John and Imogen, who seem to be getting a better connection. I'm so sorry about that, Malachi. We'll try and sort that in a second. But Imogen, I want to know, what does 2021 look like for the bid, and what could 2025 look for the area?
So it will be a real game changer for the whole area. So with really significant knock-on effects as well across Kent and the southeast. I think it's important to say it's not just a shiny badge on a website somewhere. You can think of this a bit like the equivalent of our Olympic bid. And 2025 is, in that sense, really, I guess, just the start of something. We're talking about a really large-scale programme, 365 days of creative and cultural events right across the full geography of Medway, and really turning our green spaces, our high streets, our shopping centres into galleries and theatres. And, hosting would also be a chance to invite visitors from right across the country to Medway, giving a real boost to our local economy and our tourism sector as well. So in answer to your question, 2021 is the year it's all happening. It's when it gets real. So we're expecting to submit our bid later on this year. The countdown's really on. We've been on a real journey over the last year, workshopping ideas and developing the themes of the bid, talking to communities and businesses, people of all ages, and creating a real new cultural vision for Medway. And I think it is important to say that the bid is owned and run collectively by people across Medway. We've got, almost 100 people across the area involved in different working groups developing the bid. And we're looking to make sure that the bid, I suppose, really supports and speaks for the whole area.
Now, you spoke a lot there about tourism, and I know Medway's history is a big part of that. And John, I know you worked at the dockyard for many years, and now you volunteer there. Do you want to maybe talk more about your experience with that?
Oh yes, that's where I started my career, and I spent 20 years there until they decided to close it. This 2025 bid, I believe that all generations should be involved, and that the younger generation particularly need to know something about the history of Chatham, because after all, Chatham was a hub of the armed services for hundreds of years in the southeast, and we still have many of the buildings here, particularly the older ones, and Chatham Dockyard, of course, now being a trust and a museum, is accessible in a couple of weeks' time, actually, for the general public again. And I volunteer there looking after school parties, so children from the age of 5 up to 15 and 20. And I'm also a steward in a library in the dockyard. So that library will become a source of research for everybody once we've sorted all the books out. But of course, we can't get back in there at the moment.
I know, that's quite unfortunate, but hopefully things are changing. And for those who don't know much about Medway's history and heritage, why is that important for Medway's bid?
Well, I feel the younger generation do need to know about history. They need to know how important Chatham was and the associated areas. The River Medway has been here for thousands and thousands of years, and we're all brought up around it in some way. I was born here in Gillingham. I've lived here all my life, aside from a few sojourns abroad. My family is here, and I love the town. And I think seeing this band of Royal Marines in front of me now on the screen, my father was a Royal Marine, and I'm very proud of them. So my mum and dad met here as well. So there's a lot of history in my family, and a lot of history for young people to find out about.
Now, Malika, I really want to hear from you, so I'm just checking. You there? Your connection good? You're stable?
It was perfect
Can you
a
hear
minute
me?
ago, but I couldn't hear you. Can you hear me?
Cool. Yes, I can hear you just fine. So as we saw in that amazing video, you are one of the protagonists. So I want to know, what was it like being part of that video and being part of something so special?
It was a pleasure to be honest. I wasn't even building it. So it was good. It was
Third time. That is a third time unlucky. Malika, I'm still having troubles hearing you and seeing you, but we'll try again. We'll come back to you. But Imogen and John, and hopefully Malika, if you're able to answer, I'll ask you in a bit. But obviously it's been a tough year for everyone. Why is it so important for everybody to get behind this bid, starting with you, Imogen?
I think, as you heard from those vox pops earlier, people are really needing something to rally behind and back at the moment. Culture has been, in all its forms, a massive part of how people have got through the last year of lockdown. And I think there's so many brilliant examples from across Medway of showing how strong Medway is when we come together. And lots of that has been led by the local culture sector. Loads of it has been around lots of the public installations and artworks that have taken over our streets over the last few weeks. So there are some really brilliant examples of Medway's strength expressed through creativity, and I think we really want to draw from that when we think about what 2025 would look like and our City of Culture bid plans.
That don't know, Medway is not a city. It's got towns, villages, and of course the peninsula. So for people that might be a bit confused, Imogen, maybe if you want to explain, how come we are still bidding for the title?
Yeah, I mean, it's a question I get asked a lot. You don't have to be a city to bid to be City of Culture. So one of the places we're up against this year in the 2025 round of the competition is the County of Lancashire, which, like Medway, is in the city. The bid isn't about city status. It's about giving a voice to the 5 towns, the peninsula, the full geography of Medway, and everyone who lives here, really.
And John, I want to ask you, similar to how I asked Imogen, obviously it's been a tough year for everybody across the UK, but also in Medway. Why is it the moment to bid now?
I think we need hope. I think everybody does. I think I certainly need to get back into the dockyard. But I think we need to hope. We need to look forward. We need to think about the whole of the Medway towns and the surrounding villages, and how to get everybody together and get people excited about this bid. I think it's important, and I'm looking forward to moving on with it.
And as the video states, and I was really eager to ask you this, Malachi, so I'm going to come to you last and pray that your connection is stable. But I'll start with you, John. Medway, in the video, it said, Medway has so many stories to tell. What is the bid, do you think, is doing to recognise our diverse local culture here in Kent? I mean, we spoke previously about the historical aspect of it, but how do you think the bid recognises the diversity that Medway has to offer?
Well, you only have to walk around the towns and you can see that diversity of people, and there's people of all walks of life, and this has become a metropolis of Medway towns, and I think that's wonderful because everybody has a part to play, and everybody can be excited about their part of their culture and what their culture did to this town, because I think there's all positives in that, in looking forward to something completely different that we can all strive toward and be involved in.
And Imogen, in your opinion, what is the bid doing to recognise the diverse local culture here in Kent?
So this is, I think it's all about recognising how many stories and all the different people across Medway's stories in the process of bidding and in our plans for programme in 2025. So a lot of the work that we've been doing over the last year has been with different communities across Medway, and really putting an emphasis on making sure that the voices are being heard from across the full, not just the full geography of Medway, but particularly people who might not have, for example, especially during the pandemic, the tech to do events online. We've had some really brilliant conversations with different communities and communities who don't speak English as a first language that have really added a lot of depth to what we're thinking about our bid and our messages and what we want to say about the area as well. And it's something that line about there's so many stories to tell is in the video very much because it was something that came up again and again in all of those conversations. This idea that we've got everyone here has a story, and we're talking about the bid as being rooted in the history of the local area, and we tell the stories about our history, but it's also about looking to our future as well. And part of that is recognising the stories that everyone in the area brings.
Give you one more chance, hopefully fourth time's the charm. On the topic of diversity, I know you're part of a local hip-hop group, so I want to know, what do you think the bid is doing to recognise the diverse local culture, and what do you think the impact the bid will have on young creatives like yourself?
I think that
Sorry, what was that? Oh, the woes of virtualness and online Zoom. I'll give it another try. I'll ask the question again. What do you think the bid is doing to recognise the diverse local culture here in Kent, and how can it help young creatives like yourself? Fingers crossed this is going to work.
I think that the Medway bid would show people, no matter where you are, in Medway, the spaces, the bids, hopefully buy more funding for this, gaming, music, etc. So I think it was in general inspire. So
Malachi, it breaks my heart to say I still cannot hear you. It's chopping, lagging in and out. But if you do feel like your connection will be stable, feel free to pipe in if you feel like the connection is better. But I'm sorry, as of now, I can't hear you, so I do have to go to Imogen and John. But if you think you've got the connection and you've changed connection, just pipe in, pipe up, say, hi guys, I'm here, I can speak now. So Imogen, for those that we were talking about it earlier in the programme, and for those who maybe just tuned in watching now, how can everybody watching back the bid?
The bid is about all of Medway and everyone who lives here as well as our wider region, so please do get involved. So wherever you are, Medway, across Kent, get behind the bid. This is the chance to make something really huge and really significant happen right here on our doorstep. Jatin talked in the last panel about this being an opportunity to bring the title of City of Culture to the southeast for the first time, to this end of the country for the first time. And I think there's a real significant opportunity here. Let's grab it with both hands. So head to our website, which is www.medway2025.co.uk, for lots of different ways to get involved, whether that be hosting a community conversation to inform the bid, or the chance for young people to join our creative planning group that Maddie was talking about earlier. We're also launching an opportunity for local businesses to champion the bid, and also a giant ideas call out. So for everyone across Medway over the coming weeks to contribute their ideas. So keep an eye on our website for news and updates. And lastly, support of people across the whole of Medway and our Kent neighbours really does matter in this. Please do make your voice heard, talk to people about the bid, get on social media to share your support, share the bid video, it's going to be up there. Really keen for everyone in Medway and across the wider Kent region to see it. We're at Medway 2025 on all the normal social media channels, and the hashtag is Medway 2025.
Love that. What amazing words of encouragement. John, I'll come to you later for your words of encouragement, because I wanted to focus on how you, John, you had your little cameo in the video. What was it like being part of that video, and what are you hoping that viewers take away from this video?
Well, it was a very strange experience for me. I'm not used to being on film. I'm not used to being filmed. I'm not used to being given scripts. But I think I look awful on it. But everybody tells me I managed okay.
No, I'm not going to let you say that. You look great.
My family are watching this now, and I think they might be okay about it all. But we'll see. My granddaughter's 16, my grandson's nearly 14, and so they'll have an opinion. I think for those people, they need to have their schools teach them about the history of Medway. The River Medway is a place of importance for the whole of England, and particularly the southeast. As I said before, it's been here a long time, and there are a lot of industries and cultures around the river, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the bid, if we achieve the bid, and what the organisation will do to highlight the River Medway itself, and of course the dockyard from my point of view. And I'm sure the Dockyard Trust will be looking forward to getting involved if and when we win the bid. No, when we win the bid.
When, not if, but when. Love that. You've got to manifest it. And Imogen, I wanted to ask you as well, how do you want people to react to this video? It, honestly, like when I first saw it, I don't know if you saw it in the first half, but I was saying how I just moved to Medway. So I'm yet to learn about the culture and, you know, things it has to offer. And the video for me, it really proved that. And so as things open up and as I'm allowed to go out, as we're all allowed to go out, I can't wait to explore Medway. So how else do you want people to react to this video, which was so amazingly made, featuring the likes of John and Malachi?
Well, first of all, welcome to Medway. And I think in terms of answering your question, I think we want people to react with a sense of pride. City of Culture isn't about competing to be the best place. It's about a process which will bring the area to life and bring real benefits to the area and its people and its surrounds. But we have the talent and determination to make a real success of being City of Culture and to share those new stories, new perspectives, give people fresh insights into our history and really put our communities at the front of telling Medway's story. And I think that comes across in the bid. And I really hope that it's a bit of a rallying cry and it gives people something to be proud about.
And obviously the video had many angles, but I wanted to know, are there any particular audiences within Medway? Obviously we hope it's going to be watched by every single person in Medway, but do you think, are there any particular audiences that you hope will resonate with certain messages, Imogen?
Yeah, sure. I think we've talked throughout this evening about how young people are really significant to Medway's bid. It's about creating opportunities for young people who, will be becoming adults maybe in 2025 and who are in schools and colleges at the moment contributing their ideas to how the bid is going to look and feel and what we're going to put in front of people in 2025. So, I mean, young people are a really significant audience, but I also hope it captures something about the breadth of what culture is in Medway. And, I've had lots of conversations where you say the word culture and I think people's brains go to, maybe ballet or opera, and it's absolutely about all those things, but it's also about, video gaming. We've got some really amazing companies like Dovetail Games making video games across Medway. It's about television, it's about craft and community groups, and it's about the culture and personality that make up the place. So I'm really hoping that sort of resonates with people as a message and makes a statement about Medway and our intentions.
And quickly, before we go, I want to hear from all of you. Malachi, hopefully you can contribute because I can hear certain words. I want to know, what about Medway inspires you, starting with you, Imogen, and then ending with Malachi? Really quickly.
I mean, so much about Medway inspires me. I think it has to be the people. We've talked about the history and the cultural activity and businesses and what we have going on, but it all comes back to the people. It's about our spirit and our sense of humour and our personality, and our strength is in all of our people and residents.
I couldn't hear you then. I'm sorry. Were you talking to me?
Super.
You disappeared?
Yeah, John, one word to describe Medway, super quick.
Oh, the history of it. the wonder of it, the fact that I was born here.
Much Malachi and Imogen, I want to say thank you so much for coming on the show. Sorry about the technical difficulties, and thank you for everybody watching. We are going to play the bid video once again, and that's it.
Causeways, alleyways,
Gangways,
passageways, archways,
waterways,
stairways,
takeaways,
from vast skies and rows of terraces to the peninsula, towns and villages. For musicians, artists, sculptors, writers, photographers, dancers, printmakers, fashion designers, Medway has always inspired. The river shaped our land, our direction. We've been changed and molded by our words, ideas and inventions.
Making things here is what we do. Old ways, new ways. From submarines to virtual railways. From the dockyard of old to the dockyard new. Our young people have reimagined what is possible. And reinvention has always been at the heart of what we do.
The ships built here sailed all over the globe.
And people from across the world call this place home. This is a place that brings people together to share, to learn and celebrate. Our heritage, our ambitions, our cultures make up the ingredients of this place.
different flavours, techniques and the craft of our food. One thing for sure, we dream big here.
We've inspired many stories and have many stories to tell. But we're more than the stories our history books sell. And yeah, we got history, but this is about us, right now. Our potential, our future, all of us.
There's something about this place.
It isn't just one way.
We celebrate always.
We want to show everyone.
This is Medway.
This is Medway.
This is Medway.